For decades, Stevie Nicks has mesmerized the world with her haunting voice, poetic lyrics, and enchanting stage presence. But behind the flowing scarves and mystical allure lies a life filled with triumphs and tragedies, love and loss, dreams and heartbreaks. Today, we uncover the devastating reality that Stevie Nicks has faced, the moments that shattered her heart and shaped her journey, from painful personal losses to the struggles that tested her spirit. Join us as we uncover the shocking details that changes everything. Stevie Nicks didn't grow up in a typical musical household, but she was immersed in a world brimming with influences that would ultimately shape her distinctive voice and artistic identity. Her father, an executive at an aerospace company, and her mother, a devoted housewife, supported Stevie's dreams from the start. However, it was her maternal grandfather, a country singer, who left the most profound early imprint on her. Stevie often reminisces about listening to his music as a child, a connection that ignited her passion for storytelling through song, a bond that would last a lifetime. Stevie's passion for music blossomed early on, but it wasn't just about the thrill of performing. It was about conveying raw emotion in a way that allowed listeners to feel exactly what she was going through. As a child, Stevie would often write poems, and little did she know, this would lay the groundwork for her future as a songwriter. Poetry was her first language, and music, that was simply the next logical step. By the time she hit high school, Stevie was already experimenting with both music and songwriting, merging her poetic touch with the folk and rock influences that dominated the vibrant music scene of the 1960s. Fast forward to 1974. After facing a string of personal and musical struggles, Stevie landed in Los Angeles, where everything would change. She and Lindsay, who had rekindled their romance, had been performing together as a duo. Their fresh sound quickly caught the eye of Fleetwood Mac, a British-American rock band going through its own transformation. The band's earlier albums hadn't met expectations, and they were desperate for a new direction. Mick Fleetwood, the leader of Fleetwood Mac, first heard the duo's demo tape, featuring the haunting Frozen Love, and was immediately captivated by the undeniable chemistry between Stevie and Lindsay. In 1974, he reached out, offering both of them a place in Fleetwood Mac. By 1975, Stevie and Lindsay were officially part of the band, rounding out the lineup that would soon take over the rock world. The band's sound experienced a dramatic evolution, with Stevie's captivating voice and Lindsay's intricate guitar work. Their chemistry on stage was nothing short of electric. However, beneath the surface of all their success, the band was navigating a storm of personal chaos. Behind closed doors, Stevie was caught in a complicated, often painful relationship with Lindsey Buckingham, the band's guitarist and a key songwriter. Their romantic and professional partnership was fraught with emotional ups and downs, and rumors became a soundtrack for the collective heartbreak that consumed the group. For Stevie, the anguish of unrequited love and broken relationships bled into songs like Dreams and Gold Dust Woman, transforming personal pain into timeless music. But Rumors wasn't just an album of heartache, it was a powerful testament to resilience. Fleetwood Mac had become a band that rose above personal conflicts and backstage drama, creating a masterpiece that would stand the test of time. And at the very core of it all was Stevie Nicks, her voice, her poetic lyrics, and her magnetic presence on stage. Stevie's impact on Fleetwood Mac's success is undeniable. Her voice, raspy yet ethereal, became one of the most iconic in rock history. But it wasn't just her vocal prowess that drew fans in, it was her entire persona. On stage, Stevie exuded a magical, almost mystical aura, as if she were channeling forces beyond this world. Her flowing dresses, scarves, and graceful twirls became her trademark, a visual extension of her music, both mesmerizing and profoundly emotional. Stevie's career soared as a solo artist, and she became known not just for her incredible musical talent, but also for her unshakable resilience and strength in the face of personal loss. Her ability to transform heartache into art struck a deep chord with millions of fans, solidifying her status as a trailblazer for women in rock, renowned for her fierce independence, emotional depth, and unapologetic authenticity. Throughout her life, Stevie had always navigated a world of high stakes, where love and rock and roll collided in ways that could be both exhilarating and devastating. In the early 1980s, a new chapter unfolded, one where she would form a unique and powerful bond with another rock legend, Don Henley, drummer and frontman of the Eagles. Their relationship wasn't your typical rock star romance. It went far beyond that. It was built on something far more profound: late-night talks, shared stories of life on the road, and a deep understanding of the immense pressure that came with being at the peak of the music world created a bond founded on mutual respect and emotional connection. But of course, their relationship wasn't without its challenges. While they were emotionally in sync, both Stevie and Don were fiercely dedicated to their individual musical careers. The demands of their lives often pulled them in different directions, making it difficult for their connection to fully blossom. Still, there was no denying the profound impact they had on each other. For a brief moment, they seemed to have it all: passion, understanding, and a love that felt like it could defy the rock and roll chaos that had defined their lives. Stevie found herself caught in a storm of emotions. Her entire career had been a battle for independence. She had always believed in the power of freedom, in shaping her life on her own terms. The thought of motherhood, of having a child, had always been a dream of hers. But not like this. Not when her world was already unraveling, with non-stop tours, recording sessions, and the relentless pressure of living under the public's gaze. The relationship with Don Henley left an indelible mark on Stevie, one that would never truly fade. Even years later, she would still refer to him as one of the greatest loves of her life, acknowledging that their connection was real and profound, despite its brevity. It was a love she could never fully release, and she carried it with her in every song she created, long after their romance had ended. Stevie Nicks channeled this heartbreak into art, as she always did with her losses. The music that came from her relationship with Don Henley was nothing short of timeless, a tribute to the complexity of their love and the sorrow of what could have been. Even though they eventually went their separate ways, their bond remained woven into the very essence of Stevie's songs, as the memory of their love lingered deep within her heart. Yet, in Stevie's world, even the most painful experiences often blossomed into something beautiful. And this relationship with Don Henley was no exception. While the love they shared couldn't withstand the demands of their busy lives, it lived on in the music they created together. The songs they crafted during that time became a powerful reflection of the deep emotional connection they shared. And though their romance faded, the memories of their love transformed into something timeless. By the mid-1980s, Stevie Nicks had already experienced a roller coaster of highs and lows in both her personal life and career. She had reveled in the sweet taste of solo stardom, with her voice echoing through some of the era's biggest hits. But alongside that success came the haunting shadows of loss, losing friends, relationships, and the sense of herself that she once knew so well. The love between Stevie and Joe Walsh eventually hit a breaking point, not because their feelings for each other had faded, but because they both realized the relationship was doing more harm than good. The drugs, the late nights, and the unrelenting pressures of fame were slowly tearing them apart. They cared for each other too deeply to continue down a path that would ultimately destroy them. For Stevie, leaving Joe was one of the most painful decisions she ever had to make. Joe had been the man she called her soulmate, the one she believed was the love of her life. But sometimes, love just isn't enough to save someone. And in this case, the love they shared wasn't enough to withstand the forces that threatened to pull them under. As Stevie continued her journey, she poured her heartache into her music, and her songs began to echo the raw depth of her feelings for Joe. Has Anyone Ever Written Anything for You became a poignant tribute to the love they once shared, a song crafted straight from the heart that captured the grief, longing, and bittersweet sense of what had been lost. For Stevie, this song was more than just lyrics. It was a love letter to Joe, a way to hold on to the parts of him that would never fade from her memory. It was her way of immortalizing their bond, ensuring that even though their love was fleeting, it would live on in the music. Has Anyone Ever Written Anything for You wasn't just a song. It was a heartfelt cry, a reflection of the profound love Stevie had for Joe and the sorrow of having to let him go. Though Stevie moved forward with her life and music, Joe's memory never truly faded. He would always remain the one who got away, the one who could have been everything but wasn't. He was the one who slipped through her fingers, the love that time and fate had cruelly torn apart. Stevie Nicks has always been someone who pours her deepest emotions into her music. When it came to Joe Walsh, the pain and emotional aftermath of their breakup bled into her songwriting, giving birth to some of her most iconic and heartfelt tracks. In crafting this song, Stevie captured a rare moment of raw vulnerability. Unlike many of her other tracks that delved into the complexities of love, heartbreak, and betrayal, Has Anyone Ever Written Anything for You was a direct outpouring of her soul, an intimate exploration of the agonizing process of letting go. It was her way of acknowledging that, no matter how much she moved forward, the love she had for Joe would always be a part of her. Even as she poured her heart into songs like Has Anyone Ever Written Anything for You, capturing the deep sense of loss, Stevie began to realize that a piece of her would always belong to Joe. As the years passed, Stevie continued to craft music that mirrored her growth, healing, and the bittersweet memories of her past loves. With Joe Walsh, she had found a kind of love that had shaped her in ways only those who have experienced a soul-shaking connection can truly understand. But Joe's memory didn't just stay in her heart. He became an integral part of Stevie's creative journey, his presence immortalized in the songs she wrote about him. In the end, Stevie Nicks realized that some loves aren't meant to last forever, but their impact remains timeless. She carried Joe Walsh's memory with her, not as a symbol of heartbreak, but as a tribute to a love that, in its own way, transcended time. And maybe that was the greatest gift Joe had ever given her. He taught her that, even in loss, love could achieve a kind of immortality. Stevie Nicks has always been a woman who faced change with fearless grace. Despite the stormy and sometimes painful chapters of her past, she possessed a rare ability to adapt and evolve, taking the lessons of love and loss with her into each new stage of her life. The end of her relationship with Joe Walsh, much like other chapters, didn't signal the end of her capacity to love or create. Instead, it paved the way for the next phase of her journey, a journey of self-discovery, acceptance, and the beauty of moving forward, no matter what she left behind. Though Stevie never quite found another love that matched the intensity and uniqueness of her bond with Joe Walsh, she did experience moments of rediscovery, whether through friendships, family, or the quiet, personal growth she nurtured in herself. She came to understand that healing isn't a straight line. There are moments of joy and sorrow, laughter and tears, and there's no shame in feeling both at the same time. In the years since her breakup with Joe, Stevie has pondered the possibility of finding another great love, but she's also come to terms with the reality that not all love stories are meant to follow a conventional path. Some people are in our lives for just a moment, while others leave an indelible mark on our hearts forever. In many ways, Stevie's relationship with Joe Walsh has become a blueprint for how she views love. It's deep, all-consuming, and complex, but it's also fleeting, and sometimes you have to let it go, even when every part of you wants to hold on. Though she's never remarried or pursued another relationship like the one she shared with Joe, Stevie has never shut herself off from the idea of love. Instead, she has embraced the love that surrounds her in different forms, through her fans, friendships, and family. She's built her life on her own terms, finding fulfillment in the things that bring her peace and joy. For Stevie, that means continuing to make music, tour the world, and speak to the world through her art. Her love story with Joe Walsh, though tragic in its own way, is just one chapter of Stevie's ongoing journey. The lessons she learned from that relationship have deeply shaped her, but they've also opened her heart to other forms of love and self-realization. And perhaps, as she's grown older, Stevie has come to understand that love isn't something you can control or force. It's something that unfolds naturally, sometimes in the most unexpected ways. One of the most inspiring aspects of Stevie Nicks' journey is her ability to live fully in the present. Even in the face of heartbreak and loss, she has continued to embrace life and all its beauty. She's learned to take each day as it comes, not clinging to the past or stressing over what lies ahead. Stevie has mastered the art of living in the moment, finding joy in the little things, and being grateful for the love that remains with her, whether through her music, her enduring legacy, or her relationships. In interviews and public appearances, Stevie has often shared how crucial it is to stay grounded in the present, not weighed down by past mistakes or regrets. She's always been someone who looks ahead, carrying a quiet confidence and a deep understanding that life is a journey, not a destination. Her path has been filled with highs and lows, but she has never let herself be consumed by the low points. Instead, she's always found a way to rise, to keep moving forward, and to greet the future with open arms. As Stevie continues to tour and create, she finds herself more grateful than ever for the love in her life, whether it's the unwavering love from her fans, the support of her family, or the love she's discovered within herself. She remains an icon, not only because of her extraordinary talent, but because of the strength and resilience she carries. Through every loss, she has never stopped loving. She's learned that love, in all its forms, is the greatest gift we can offer to ourselves and to others. Over the years, Stevie has learned one of the most important lessons of all, the power of self-love. While romantic relationships have shaped her journey, she has come to understand that the most crucial relationship is the one she has with herself. In the quiet moments of solitude, Stevie has embraced her own worth, beauty, and value. She's realized that no relationship, whether with a partner, friend, or anyone else, can ever be truly fulfilling unless you first learn to love and accept yourself. This self-love has given Stevie the grace and clarity to navigate life's complexities. It has helped her stay connected to the people and experiences that truly matter, without being weighed down by regret or sorrow. It has empowered her to keep creating music that speaks to the hearts of her fans, to keep performing and inspiring, and to continue living fully in the present. Stevie's journey, rich with love, loss, and self-discovery, has proven that sometimes the greatest love story is the one we build with ourselves. And with that love, everything becomes possible. Stevie always considered her relationship with Joe Walsh to be her greatest love, but timing and circumstances ultimately drove them apart. Even years later, she still reflects on their love, acknowledging that it was the one that could have lasted forever. If only fate had been a little more forgiving. Throughout her life, Stevie Nicks experienced many kinds of love, some fiery and fleeting, others heartbreaking and enduring. Yet through it all, her music stayed constant. Every love, every heartbreak became woven into her artistic journey, captured in the songs that still echo with listeners today. Stevie Nicks has enchanted us with her incredible music, unforgettable love stories, and fearless vulnerability. Her path through passion, heartbreak, and self-discovery has touched millions worldwide. Through every relationship and every song, Stevie's journey teaches us that sometimes the most powerful lessons come from love lost and wisdom gained. If Stevie's remarkable journey moved you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more inspiring stories.